Welcome to Cursed, a bi-weekly podcast that investigates the liminal spaces, from everyday witchcraft to the haunted and the phantasmic. Hang out with us as we explore our personal experiences with the unknown and celebrate our craft.
Three, two, one, go.
So, take two.
Take two? What do you mean? Well, this is episode 13. Mm-hmm. What are we going to call it? No. But.
Do we ever?
No. We do have patron shout outs to do.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do it.
Well, we'll think of it. Okay. So, for patron shout outs, in our Haints, we have Tori Tamara, Rachel the Pickety Witch, Corian Lane of New World Witchery, Alyssa, Joanne, Erin, Melissa D, Cindy Brandon of Keeping Her Keys, and Dakota.
And our poltergeist level, we have Randy, Temple, Alex, Faith, Luna, Melissa S, Heather, Avio, Jessica, and Sydney. And then you guys are super, super special because you get a personalized tarot reading from me every month. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely think about signing up for our Patreon. For just $10 a month, you get a personalized tarot reading, access to extra episodes that are like
decals.
Yeah, like all kinds of stuff.
More stuff coming down eventually. And then $5 you get the decal and the shout outs. Mm-hmm. And then $1 you get all the bonus stuff. We don't shout you out, but we still love you. Like, don't think that we don't.
And we just started sharing, like, research notes and stuff like that, too.
Yeah. So this is our Valentine's Day episode is when it's going to come out. So this is all about love. So people are talking.
A little bit.
Talking about people.
Talking about people.
Oh let's give them something to talk about.
Oh, bitch. I always give them something to talk about. I got pink-ass hair, man.
Well, let's talk about love today. And you're our resident love witch.
Sort of.
No, I don't know. I mean, I'm not. It's not me.
I mean, you have seen The Love Witch, the movie, right?
No.
No?
No.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
Okay, well, it's in my list to do.
It's fucking great. I don't want to say any more because you haven't seen anything and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody else, but I think you'd like it.
I'm sure I would.
It's very good.
So,
it's very good.
No spoilers for that.
Spoilers.
But we're going to spoil your Valentine's Day right now. Or make it better.
Make it better. I think we're going to make it better.
And then this comes out this Friday. And then tomorrow, Saturday, we'll be at Oddities hanging out. Mm-hmm. We won't have a booth this year, but maybe next year. But
our good friend Rachel will be there.
Rachel the Pickety Witch. Just kidding. Rachel the Pickety Witch will be there, so go see her. And we'll be there walking around and shopping.
Yeah.
Buying cool stuff. And we have a giveaway coming up because we are past 6,666 downloads, but we did hit it. And if you saw that, we're going to have a cool giveaway. We've been talking about all the stuff that's going to be in there. It'll be worth the effort to shamelessly promote and share us with people who don't want to be tagged and stuff, but you'll do it because you love us.
Oh, yeah.
And you want this cool swag.
You want the cool swag,
yeah.
Man.
So...
Because we're probably going to be shopping for cool shit.
Yeah.
During Oddities.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get a Rachel pin in there.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
We should get a Rachel pin.
Yeah. Her most satanic pin ever.
Yes. I love the baby goat pin.
Yeah, that's the most satanic.
That's my favorite one, yeah.
Yeah, a baby goat pin. Thanks, Rachel. We'll pay for it. So, Love Magic, Glamour Magic.
Yeah.
This is the redo / remix because we recorded it, but it's like our hearts weren't in it.
No, my heart wasn't in it. I was not having a good day. But today's not been a good day either, so...
Well, you know, it has to happen eventually.
It has to happen.
So, instead of love spells, this is going to be all about curses. No,
I have to completely redo my notes.
Well, we'll go with your notes.
That episode
and then,
next.
Yeah. And then we'll put these notes up on Patreon so you can read them and get all into it.
Fuck yeah. So where do we want to start? Do we want to start with love magic or do we want to start with glamour magic?
Well, I think everybody's here for the love magic.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, it's like one of the most
sought
requested
after,
like fields of magic there is.
Yeah, so, money, love, and then cursing.
Fuck yeah.
That's all you need to know.
I'm all about all three of those things. I'm all about that life.
And they don't have to be in that order.
No.
So, and last time we talked about, which you did not hear, we'll get into about like how we'll talk about that area of feeling like you're manipulating somebody. But like that's not what we're promoting. But I mean, fuck it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
We're not saying like, oh, I'm going to make this person, because we feel like there's blowback. But in its simplest form, a love spell, as we see it, would be kind of like, correct me if I'm wrong, trying to gain the attention or the interest, not by forcibly like making them wake up one day and be like, that's all I can think about, but also you being the only thing they can think about.
I mean, honestly, if you're a witch, they're probably already thinking about you a lot anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. But as the way I see it, a lot of love spells and a lot of glamour magic is like very like, senpai, please notice me. You know what I mean? Like, it seriously
It is, yes.
And it's just, it's about taking that initial attraction, if there is one, and sort of fanning the flames and building upon what's already there. Because the way that I see it, I don't see a lot of like gray area for like, you can't just magic feelings into somebody. There has to be a spark of something
that you're gonna try to like stoke.
Yeah. So like if it's not there, your spell ain't gonna work. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
You can sweeten somebody, which we'll talk about, but you can't make them feel for you, but you can amplify it.
Oh, totally. And you can like sort of needle your way in there and like, you know, just like when you're trying to start a fire and you have that initial spark that you finally got because you've been, you know, rubbing that piece of flint. No pun intended. I mean, sometimes you have to rub your own flint until somebody else can start a fire for you. And then you gotta blow on it a little bit. I mean, you just gotta blow on the kindling just gently.
Don't spit on it.
Don't spit on it. Don't spit on it.
No, it has to be going pretty well before you can spit on it.
You gotta wait a little bit for that. I mean, but you gotta feed it a little oxygen and kind of gently coax it to like a bigger flame, and then give it some more to feed on. So but you can't do that if you don't have that initial spark. Right. Then you just got a pile of twigs and some newspaper.
And you expect it to just start fire? No, you have to do something.
Yeah.
And like when you said needle in, it's like weave in, like you're the parasite now, and you're trying to infect their brain and like make a little cyst that can never be removed without killing the patient.
But I mean, the beginnings of that cyst was already there. That's what I'm arguing, is that the beginnings of that cyst was already there.
You already had worms. You already had the parasite.
You're just
feeding
it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just feeding it and making it grow.
Yeah.
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 Until
that's exactly
it eats away their entirety of their brain.
Right, and then nobody wants a love zombie, like, right?
No.
Right. I mean, some people might. But I mean, like, don't try to do a spell where you're trying to make somebody love you that doesn't.
I don't know. There's sometimes it could be convenient.
Yeah. Well, okay, and then we'll get into glamour, because glamour is kind of like a manipulation of desire, or the amplification of desire, depending on how you want to use it.
Yeah. And see, that's why I wanted to do these together, too, is because there's a lot of overlap between love magic and glamour magic, because a lot of times they're in the same vein, and it's all about that sort of perception and making someone notice you more and making someone see you a little bit differently. So there's a lot of overlap there already. Like, I think you could do like glamour spells,
which is funny because it's a very strong like Ava Presence Day, and her glamour is different. Her glamour is not to make somebody love her. It's to get them to do well. Okay, yeah, that too. But it's also a manipulate. She does a manipulate sometimes to get what she wants, or to like lay low, like, or influence things. So
and those are all shades of glamour magic too.
Right.
It's not so much, I want to be beautiful and desirable. It's also, I want to look like I could kick somebody's ass so that people will leave me the fuck alone. Yeah. So, it's not always, trying to be the next Marilyn Monroe. And I think that's what a lot of people sort of get wrong about glamour magic, is that they think it's always about, being super beautiful and being, always looking like you have your
it's
shit
that
together.
energy that you put out there. Like, she looks at it very much like the idea of like the vampiric glamoring of, I'm going to make you do what I want willingly, and you're not even going to know that I'm influencing your energy.
Fuck
but
yeah.
You don't have to look or be or do all this, but you can talk about too, like all the stuff you've mentioned about like perfumes and how you go about doing it, charging, and it's like it's that energy, and I think it ties into that idea where if you have a positive energy field around you, you attract. If you want to repel, you can put that negative force field. I mean, it's as simple as a smile and a frown, but like you could do that with glamour as far as like the idea of like spells, but we also want to talk about correspondences, different things like that. So
yeah, so I guess let's start with love magic, because that's why everybody's here, right? It's Valentine's Day, so it's the day before the best holiday of the year, which is half off chocolate day. So you can buy yourself some chocolate. If you have any roses left at the store, you can probably get those for half price, because they've been sitting there a week. So, if you're like me, you hang them up and you dry them on your wall and use them for shit later.
Yeah, exactly.
So probably best days to work some love magic are going to be Fridays, because they are associated again with our favorite planet,
Venus.
So, who of course is closely associated with Aphrodite, because the Romans stole everything. Let's just be real. And then it also probably a good idea to do it around a full moon, preferably in Libra or Taurus, because they tend to be the softest or like sweetest of the signs. Like if you want to do something in Aries, like an Aries moon magic type thing, I mean, you're going to get all sex or all rage. Let's be real. Like that's just...
Is that not the Scorpio too?
True that.
Because that could be, your Scorpio dark moon, that's when you're...
I feel like a lot of times I identify with Scorpio more than I identify with Aries.
Well, then, and it's like the Virgo, you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
So
you're not going to get what you want there. So, Libra or Taurus. Herbs and flowers is pretty standard. Roses, of course. Jasmine, ylang ylang, apples. There's actually a lot of lore about like the correlation between apples and love. So, like, there's all kinds of stuff. There's a really great show. I think I was talking about it last time on the divination episode, where they talk about, like, you do the one long coil.
Yeah.
And I think you twirl around your finger 3 times, and then you throw it over your left shoulder. Why am I, like, trying to remember it? It's in my fucking notes. Which, if you're a Patreon member, you can get those now.
Yeah. You can read them. We're not, but... Yeah.
We do the research, we just don't remember because we're ADD. It's fine. So peel an apple in an unbroken coil and twirl it in the air 3 times. Then toss it over your left shoulder. See, I remembered. And the coil should make the shape of a letter. That letter is said to symbolize the initial in the name of a potential mate. So then they talk about eating the apple. So if you like your result or you want that to come to fruition, eat the apple and take that same magic, like, into your body. To sort of help, like, solidify the spell. They also talk about, pressing, like, taking the seeds and putting them on your cheek. So you you put one on each cheek, and if the left falls off first, your next relationship will be unsound. And then if the right falls off first, expect a kiss. So things are sweeter, going to go better, that sort of a thing. And then... they also say then, like, you can take those same seeds and toss them into a fire. And then if they pop and fly, it's, like, really true, really passionate. There's probably an Aries placement somewhere. It's fine. but yeah, like it's super, super connected to like love magic. I think pomegranates, especially if you work with like Hades or Persephone, possibly.
Uh-huh.
Of course, Aphrodite. Everybody wants to go to Aphrodite, and she's cool. I just don't work with her very much. But Persephone has the same correspondences for love and beauty that Aphrodite does too.
Right, and I mean she's fucking underworld.
She's like the queen of the underworld and the queen of spring. So like,
I mean, come on.
Why not? And that's no shade to Aphrodite. I don't want to get like hubris and like have her come down and smite me or nothing, turn me into a swan. That's not what this is about. Because I love her and I work with her. It's just I don't feel as connected with her. So
right.
And I think there's a tendency to use gods as like correspondences in magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that's sort of disrespectful to the gods themselves.
Well, I mean, there's some undisputed attributes that everybody seems to know that's universal. And that's all fine and well, but are you working with it like don't treat the deity like it's a rose quartz. And you're like, oh, this has this, I want to work with that. Like, let that deity show you that side of them and get to know that side. And that's why it's like, oh, now I know why I could use them. And it might not be common, perception of that deity, but it's your perception and what you work with. So yeah, like I would use them as a correspondence. It's like, oh, a rose quartz. Let me get Aphrodite. Like really think about why or work with that aspect of whatever deity you feel led to for that purpose because it's, whatever.
And I think especially too, if you're like us and we work with Hecate or underworld spirits more, I think that it doesn't necessarily limit you from being able to do this kind of magic. Because a lot of times they have the same correspondences. Just because, someone is a love goddess in that same pantheon, you don't have to go to them for all, love and romance and glamour. There are definitely other people within the pantheon or people that you already work with and have a connection with. Because just like we talked about in the Familiars episode, where we talked about, the better connections you establish and the more you work with people, the better your friendship is, the more likely they are to do something for you.
But I think that, is the same thing we've talked about before with spirits, like you said. It's just get to know them and it'll be more beneficial for you. Otherwise, it'll feel flat and not have much behind it. So, view them differently than you would like your crystals and herbs and stuff.
Yeah, because I think that, they are... I view them as a, sentient being, and I think it's disrespectful to just sort of look at them as a correspondence for a spell, like that's, you want to build your connection with them first. Now that's not to say that you can't do what I did and say, hey, Aphrodite, I'm really struggling with my own self-worth right now. I'm going to petition you to sort of help me with that.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. And I think that's the sort of disconnect there. It would be very different if I would just, like, invoked her and said, do this thing for me, and peaced out, Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to do that. Bear that in mind when we talk about, using, making connections and things like that with gods and spirits and things like that, because I don't want anybody to get the idea that, like, they're interchangeable and you can just go through and, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's a soapbox we've been on before, too, where it's like, just because you want to work with that deity in that aspect doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. But it isn't like, let me open the drawer and pick out what I need for this. Like, you're more apt if you have a working relationship with that deity, or like if you petition them for a particular reason, it's genuine and they know it. This isn't like the 101 Wicca book where it's like, oh, do you want to curse? Call Hecate. Do you want this? Like, you
Is
can
she
call
super
them.
good for that? Oh, fuck yeah.
Right. But you're also either going to get that lingering, or like it might even start a relationship with said deity. But I think you would approach it like you should approach like working with people. You're not going to just, use them as a very shallow, like a mask or a correspondent just because, like, go a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, and re-examine the gods that you already have, the gods and spirits you already have working relationships with, and think about it a little bit abstractly. So that, you're not building a relationship with a brand new relationship with somebody else when you could be going to someone that you already have a working relationship with.
Right.
Yeah. that being said, if you don't have someone that you feel like you can turn to, like we said, Aphrodite, Venus, Persephone,
just because you don't
Lilith.
have...
Lilith is a great one.
Yeah.
I love working with Lilith. Oh my fucking god.
That's a whole different energy.
Yes.
But it's a good one.
But it's a fucking great one.
And
especially
it doesn't mean...
if you're doing, like, seduction magic and shit like that.
And
oh,
glamour
bitch.
magic.
Oh, bitch.
But, like, that's the other thing, too, is, like, we're not saying that you can't work with them if you don't have a relationship. It's just approach it as don't approach it as I need this, you're the best fit, do it. Right. It's more like, I'm going to petition you with respect and honor because I think you could be the best bet, and you could throw it into, like, feeling that calling, like, led to that for a specific reason. So,
absolutely.
Don't get us wrong. It doesn't mean, I can't work with her because I've never called on her. Like, this could be the time where you build a relationship with them, and it might just be a one and done, but it's all about the intent and approach.
Yeah. It's just like we talked about with Megan, where you go in and you introduce yourself, and you when you go to a friend's house for the first time, you bring flowers or a bottle of wine or something.
And if they're like, God, this person is so pitiful, of course I'll give them a date. Like, So, but you want to establish before you start asking for favors. You know what I mean? So think about that. Now, the stuff that is actually correspondences, I think we talked about plants and things like that. Also, I love using crystals in magic. That's a big thing for me. Of course, you have your heavy hitters, rose quartz. Cleopatra used it in her beauty rituals. Like, she used to add it to, like, face creams and things like that. It's closely associated with the myth of Adonis and Aphrodite. So, and you can totally look that up if you want to. I'm not going to go into it here because it would take up too much time. And that's not really what we're doing. But you have lots of other options because, again, not everybody, like Bones, is really going to be pulled towards rose quartz. And that's, if you are, that's cool. If you're not, that's also cool. Do what you like. I think there's a big thing about, shaming and witchcraft, and I'm just over it. Yeah. I'm so over it. Yeah. I mean, fuck. Just use what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, some things have correspondences, and I think if there was something I wanted to do and I knew that rose quartz was the best, but if I knew I could get away with labradorite, I'm going to fucking use labradorite.
Yeah.
Because I know that stone and I work with it.
Yeah.
And I know that, so I think if I went and bought a rose crystal or rose quartz to just use for a specific thing, I'm not familiar with it at all. Yeah. I don't have a piece of it. I don't know when the last time I touched one was. So, I mean, it's just not something, but if there's other things that call to me, then I'm going to go to that. So It's the same thing with, I'm not a big fan of roses. I'm just not. Okay. But, lavender, to me, that invokes all these, love, romantic, kind of sweet. So, or honeysuckle or something like that. I would lean towards that. But if you don't know it and you don't work with it and it doesn't mean anything to you, then don't use it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you can't, I wouldn't use a rose for something. Of course I would. Mm-hmm. But if there's an alternative that I know and work with and I feel those associations with, then I'm going to use that.
Right. And again, I think that, your stones that you use, your plants that you use, those still have spirits and personalities and things like that.
Yeah.
So use
like you said, if it's there and you're used to it, don't go looking elsewhere.
Yeah, unless you really want to establish something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't use them and lose them when it comes to your spirits and things like that. Humans are different. I mean,
yeah, they don't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you were going to do something like that, you could use garnet. Which is another one of my favorites. I fucking love garnets. And they come in every color but blue. Did you know that?
I do now.
But garnet, larimar, which is also beautiful, kunzite, diamonds, beryls, so your sapphires, emeralds, rubies.
Blood diamonds.
Opal is another big one. That's a traditional anniversary gift, I think. I don't remember what number.
I have this really cool talking about diamonds, it's a little silver, it's Ava's, the little skull but it's the eyes are black diamonds.
Oh,
and it's to me that not only does protection, but it has the diamond thing.
Yeah.
But it's the goth diamond. But you know what I mean? It's
and
like...
see, like, it's weird for me because even though my birthstone is a diamond, I don't like diamonds, man. Diamonds are not my jam. I don't like them except for the blue ones.
They are fucking
I'll fuck
boring.
with some blue ones. I'll fuck with some blue diamonds. But the other ones, I can take them or leave them. I mean, nah, I'm good.
And I think too, like, and this will probably become more relevant, but it's like, Ava wanted to point out, if you do chocolate, like, this is like one of those metaphors, I will take chocolate and eat it because I like chocolate. But if you have to pick between milk and dark and you don't fucking get me dark, like...
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I'll take chocolate over no chocolate. But if you're gonna make a thing, go fucking do the thing. So give me dark chocolate. Send me dark chocolate. Yeah. Is what I'm saying.
And not only that, but it's like, do what you can with what you're able to do. Like right now, I don't have a ton of money. So, I'm not able to go and, buy a whole ton of, Ghirardelli chocolate. But if you're using that in a ritual or something, use what you feel called to do. And if that means, splurging on something that's a little bit nicer to sort of enhance that magic. Because what you put in and the sacrifice that you give and the energy that you give it and how you regard it is way, way, way... more impactful than if you just go and you buy a Hershey or a Cadbury bar.
Right. It's not cost.
Yeah.
Weren't you shitting on Cadbury chocolate in the second episode?
They're the worst. They're waxy, man. I don't like milk chocolate. Yeah. Milk chocolate, white chocolate. No, thank you. Although I've heard ruby chocolate is really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Send us ruby chocolate, too.
Please. I think I saw some at World Market.
But yeah, it's not the cost, it's the intent. And basically... the Ava idea would be you can get by and do that, and that's great. But if you have the option, don't just pick one or so somebody says, okay, well, milk chocolate is like universal. Everybody loves milk chocolate. But you had dark chocolate. You should have just went with the dark because that's what she likes. That's what blah, blah. So that's what I meant with like flowers or herbs. Like, yeah. Sometimes if you Google it and it doesn't even have, like, I mean, we talked about with Hecate. I had not seen when I started out anything about owls until I started talking about personal experiences. And I think it's a little bit more common now to see owls tied to her. But back then, it wasn't so much. It was, it has to be this, it has to be that. So trust your instinct, trust your gut, trust your feelings. Yeah. Like don't spend $50 on chocolate that doesn't feel like it has anything behind it when you could make chocolate yourself.
Ooh, yeah. I've done that before, where I actually like make truffles and things like that. That's always fun.
And it's like the intent's there. Yeah. So.
And I mean, you could totally do that too, where you could make your own, truffles and like totally like say incantation over it and add certain ingredients and things like that. Like you could add lavender.
Yeah. Yeah. Spend the money. Yeah. To make the chocolates of your asshole that you can send people. Yes. Spend that money. Yes. Or you could make the mold at home yourself. Maybe.
You might need some assistance.
Get a really close friend to make chocolate buttholes. Bitch. Because we can talk about that too, is like the idea like in Midsummer and like I think we all saw it and called it out being witches, and it's like, all right, she's putting period blood in there and pubic hair in his biscuit or whatever he's eating.
Some kind of little like meat thing. Yeah.
A pubic pot pie.
Pubic pot pie?
But it'll work. It'll work.
Oh, totally. I mean, and that's, that kind of goes into the next part that I wanted to go into anyway, where they talk about...
Accidental segue.
Yeah, where they talk about, like, in hoodoo or folk magic, like, there's a lot of use of menstrual blood or semen or, like, pubic hair, especially in, like, actual love spells. So, like, even, I mean, people will use it to, like, anoint candles and things like that. They'll use it to, like...
I think that's great.
To charge a doll, a puppet. Like, why not?
Of that person? Yeah. Make that homemade chowder. But it's got to be New England clam chowder.
With the little crackers.
Right. Yeah. This is so thick. Little oyster crackers.
It's a little salty.
Yeah, it's a little salty, but I'm in love with this person now. for some reason. What kind of clams are these? They're gooey ducks. Okay. But I would implore you to put your fluids, if you don't work at a restaurant, unless you work at like an Applebee's, and it's just a standard, I think.
Yeah. Maybe don't do it there because you could lose your job.
Yeah, don't do it at work, but do it for all your home cooking. I think Alton
Make everyone love you.
Right. I think Alton Brown would agree that take a good recipe. We love Alton Brown. I love Alton Brown.
I love him so much. Because he's such a nerd. I love that he breaks down the science.
Right.
What I do a lot of times with my witchcraft, too, is, I break down the science of why things work.
Yeah.
So.
Which we'll get into, too, because we're going to go to a class.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so take that Food Network recipe, or the, whatever you can Google, and just, add semen to
blog
taste.
Where you have to scroll down, 3 pages worth of story about, my kids won't eat this.
Right. But I'm a Virgo, so when it says, add to taste, I'm like, how much, though? But, how much, really? Where it's salt and pepper to taste. No, I need a goddamn teaspoon's amount. So, add your menstrual blood, semen, pubic hair to taste.
Whatever, man.
And to fly under the radar.
Yeah.
Just a drop will probably work.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put in so much where it's okay, I can visibly see that there's hair in this.
Yeah. I actually found, too, in some of the Central American, Latin American culture where they talk about during the Inquisition and stuff like that, there was a lot of testimony from women who were going and seeing these sort of folk sorcerers and folk magic women who would advise them, put your, menstrual blood or, whatever in, the morning, cocoa that your husband or somebody drinks. And, that will, change...
the flavor.
Well, that, too. It's really good this morning.
Yeah. Is this red velvet?
But, change his attitude. So if, there was a husband who was being super abusive and, beating his wife, she would, tell her, put this magic powder and, your menstrual blood or whatever into, his coffee in the morning, and he will become nicer to you and sweeter to you. He won't have the energy to beat you all the time. Or, somebody's being unfaithful or untrue. That kind of a thing.
Right.
So, it's all about intention. Because a lot of times I feel
But if you are being beat, don't try to make them beat you less that way.
No, you need to report them to the police.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the only blood that should be spilled is theirs.
Truth.
Word. And then you drink your cocoa.
That's right. And you fall in love with yourself, bitch.
Yeah, treat yourself.
Yeah. Another one, too, that I found that was really cool, folk magic, was, using the baculums.
Yeah, the penis bones of animals.
Yeah, so...
Which I think we talked about. Humans don't have those.
We do not. But, possums, bats, bears, rodents, dogs...
Raccoons.
Foxes, raccoons... all of them have them.
I want a bat penis bone necklace.
Fuck yeah. I like it. You should get one.
Yeah, let me just go get one.
You could probably find it online somewhere.
Yeah, but they're probably killed poorly.
Oh, maybe.
That's the problem about buying stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have that bat skull on my wand. But penis bones. We'll check oddities. We'll check oddities for bat penis bones.
Oh fuck yeah. That's gonna be what we're gonna put in the giveaway if we can find one.
Oh, a penis bone, yeah. The biggest, shiniest, hardest penis bone we can find.
What would that be, a bear?
I don't know, do bears have...
We do, apparently.
What bears are we talking about?
But actually this is a Southern custom. So if a man wished to gain the love of a woman, he would give her a baculum on tied on a red string as a token of his affection. And then, or if he was too chicken shit to do that, he would bury the bone beneath her doorstep or in her yard.
I say that is, you are being very forward, so. Oh, I knew I should have buried it under your doorstep. What? That's oh God, I'm so embarrassed to give them this baculum. They don't want to see what other thing I wrapped a ribbon around.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, but yes, the gift
hey,
of...
I like you. Want a bone? Let me smash.
Yeah. The human body has like 206 bones. Do you want another one?
Ew. That's the worst.
Yeah. But it'll work. It's never worked. As someone who does x-rays, it's never worked. So we'll look for penis bones. Yes. Now, if you are interested in your own recipes on how to make, what were we calling them? Labia cookies?
Yeah.
So on Patreon, from our first recording, about the only good thing that came out of it, there was some, but we talked a lot about genital cookies.
Yes.
And pressing
an insane amount.
Yeah, that'll be the bonus episode. Recipe to follow. They're just sugar cookies with like thumbprint cookies is what I call them. Mushroom cookies. Okay, check out Patreon. Man, I'm hungry though. And I love chocolate chip cookies. Like, it's just so simple.
Before we started, I was talking about, let me stuff these nuts in my mouth. So
yeah, but she was talking about pistachios.
I was.
But yeah, just also, go simple. Don't go crazy with your vagina cookies. Just chocolate chip does it. You know what I mean? Like the basics.
And see, like, I'm super, like, awful because I want to make it, like, cranberry jelly or something.
Oh, see, and that's why Ava's like, dark chocolate, vagina chocolate chip cookies. It better not be milk.
No milk chocolate.
Oh, and mint chocolate's good, too. But mint that might be tingly.
A little bit.
Okay, well, we'll talk about
how to... But that could be fun later. That's up to you guys.
We'll talk about how to make those cookies. We don't talk about how to make them. We just talk about...
we just talk a long time something that is ridiculous. Because we're ridiculous. Okay, let's see. What else did I want to talk about?
Yeah, what else did you want to talk about?
What else did I want to talk about?
Are we ready for glamour? Or
I think we should start talking about some glamour magic. Because...
we're about halfway.
Because I've got a lot of fucking notes here, and it's just, there's so much. There's so fucking much. But I want to talk about glamour magic because that's something that I do a lot more than I do love magic, really. As y'all can obviously tell, fucking single.
But you're here listening, so we glamoured you.
I glamoured you into listening. So glamour magic is really fucking fun because it's not necessarily about, I want to make myself beautiful. Because it's not really about that. It's about using your beauty or the way that you dress yourself or the way that you speak to manipulate others into doing your thing. And I don't even know if I would use the word manipulate.
Well, it's out there now. No,
I would almost say like
influence.
Enthrall.
Yeah. And that's like, that's how Ava sees it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, if I wanted to enthrall somebody, I would just stare at them into their soul. That works for me. But I've got all this power in it. So I just stare at them and then feed off their energy.
Yeah. You little vampire, you.
Yeah, so that's how you do it. That's how you can do it. Mm-hmm. But smells and tastes and looks are all good too.
Yeah. So I'm a big like perfume nerd. I love like playing with scent as a form of expression. But also as a form of my glamour magic too. So like I have certain perfumes that I'll use for certain things. Like I have certain perfumes that I specifically use when I want to seduce someone, or I have specific perfumes that I use when I want to, like when I'm hanging out with friends, or something like that. And it just sort of, it changes my mood, and I think it helps set the mindset and helps to sort of seal that glamour magic that I'm using. So the way that I do that is I'll do a little bit of research on the way that certain scents are perceived. So like more like darker, woodsier notes, more musky things are going to be great if you're trying to seduce a man. More licoricey scents are going to be great if you're trying to seduce a woman. Which I flow both ways. So I'm wearing both of them. One on either side. I'm playing
nothing. Yeah, nothing makes me run away faster than rose scented anything.
Okay.
I just don't like it, and
that's fair.
Like, it just smells like old perfume.
It smells like grandma. I get it.
No, not my grandma. But she smells like tequila. And I'm just kidding. She doesn't listen. Think that. But no, and so like, okay, Ava is very big on scent because it's one of the biggest triggers for memory and impression, and it allows her. This is a manipulate in a way. Mm-hmm. It allows her to make that impression
Mm-hmm.
and to influence it. So she does want to do something good as far as like making her presence known, and you smell it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's people that you get that random smell with like spirit work.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was like her idea, is like you smell that, you fucking know. And so unfortunately the one that she has that she loves so much, which we're using sparingly,
Mm-hmm.
has been discontinued
No!
for the current moment. But it's by zoology perfumes,
Mm-hmm.
and it was bat. And it I'm sure you've smelled it on us before.
I think.
And it's been a very good, and like there's times where I'll smell it, especially when she doesn't feel so close internally
Mm-hmm.
or channeling. Like I'll smell it, and it's like nothing. It's work clothes. It's not on anything,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh shit. And
that's just Ava.
Yeah, that's almost like a glamour, but also like a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a familiar bridge kind
Yeah.
of way to work it.
To me, she's more like really, really deep floral and like musk and earth.
Yeah, and that's what bat
Yeah.
smells like.
Yeah.
And it's like the
Okay.
perfumer, and I don't know her name, but she's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That created it for them. It was she's like a biologist too, and does like bat study. So her
Badass.
idea was, I want it to smell like not a bat,
Mm-hmm.
but like their journey. So it's like overripe fruit and damp earth.
Oh fuck yes.
And it's one of those scents that the reason she likes it too, it's not one of those scents that's for everybody. Like,
yeah.
and then it kind of finishes with a musky, leathery, like small animal
Mm-hmm.
kind of smell. But it's like this weird, like she likes the more fruity, but like
Mm-hmm.
overripe / dirt kind of smell, which makes sense. Underworld and like, you know, all that. Like if you're going to be enticed into a layer of a predator, they're going to, you know, pull you in with
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's like, oh, that smells good.
Yeah.
But no, that's how she kind of views it. And like sandalwood was mentioned by Tamara, who was like, why do I always smell sandalwood around
Mhm.
you? And it's like, it's not me. I'm not wearing sandalwood.
Yeah.
But then it seems to kind of fit because, I mean, that and like the earthy
Mm-hmm.
and the kind of thing. So
I can see that.
and that's what like goes back into what you said. You want to gear that for what you want. That's a very personal scent. Like that's how she wants to be perceived and feels and smells.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were trying to do a specific thing, you want to smell like something. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could use essential oils for that.
Oh hell yeah.
If you wanted to, like, I
you
mean,
can blend your own perfumes with
yeah,
essential oils.
fuck yeah. And I mean, you could gear it towards somebody. Is the person
Mhm.
you like, you know they like that, put a little splash of that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to dab the period blood and semen on your wrists and neck.
Oh fuck yeah.
Because like pheromones are going to be another thing, but you can alter
Mhm.
stuff. But I think
I think I've talked to Ava before too about the perfume that I had that actually had synthetic pheromones put in it too.
Oh yeah, because she was like, "Damn, you're fucking Trixie."
Yeah, I think it's by Aerox, and it's really great because it's a really great sort of musky, almost evergreen sort of scent. I think I have just a tiny bit left. I'll let you smell it. But it's like it's unisex, so it's not super super floral or feminine, and it's not so musky and earthy that it's like off-putting for a lot of.
Is this
women.
a Dennis
like-
Feinstein scent?
Oh god, no. Oh god.
You
he's
can
the
tell
worst.
we're rewatching Parks and Rec lately.
Yes. And see, I'm just like, you need to watch Sabrina.
Oh no, I need to catch up on that too.
Yeah. I need
Talk
to
about it.
I need to talk about it.
So yeah, that's a good idea, is to actually put that shit in there
Mhm.
synthetically
Yeah.
to really.
And you can get a bottle from, I really like the Aerox one. You can probably get a bottle still. I think they're still in business. I got it several years ago. So, but yeah, another one, I really like Luscious perfumes, especially they have the little solid ones,
Yeah.
like the little balms that you can put on. Those shits are amazing. I love Goddess and I love Ectoplasm.
Well, see, there was one that Ava really wanted to try and thought she would like, and it was like, I don't know, funeral or something, because but it smelled
nice.
it was like too rosy floral, because
Okay.
it was like, oh, what would you put on a casket? Like, no, I'd rather smell like the dirt,
Yeah. Smell
in the
like
grave.
embalming fluid.
Yeah. Death, decay, which
Yeah.
you put a little bit of that in there. Like, I mean, that's a thing. Like, that elicits things. Do you want?
I mean,
Do you want people to stay away from you? No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you
Yeah,
do
that's
whatever.
true. I mean, that's glamour magic too, is, you know, trying that invisibility thing or like that intimidation to like, you know, put out that feeling that you get when you wear like a really tough leather jacket and your fucking combat boots. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Wing your fucking eyeliner, put on some black lipstick and handle it, you know? Like when you're going to fucking dispute and say, I paid this fucking bill, why did you shut my services off? It's like,
exactly. Yeah. Dress for the part.
Dress for the part.
But no, like, I mean, I think that's a common theme. Like, people feel that. And maybe they don't realize it's like kind of, you're not only setting your intention, but you're giving off that intention. And I think that's glamour. And sometimes, like we talked about in the first try of this recording, which we'll talk about, is actually doing a love spell on yourself and glamouring yourself and treat yourself.
Hell yeah. Buy a little bit of expensive chocolate. You know, buy yourself a new perfume or a bath bomb from Lush, you know, whatever it is that makes you feel really good.
Or Ava buying a Belladonna bell from Blood Milk.
Fuck yes.
Fuck yes. In here ringing. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
2020 is very expensive. But, like...
Or for me, it would be like I still want that vial necklace from Killstar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and you could put... witchcraft I could do with that thing, man. Oh, I want it so bad.
Yeah.
Or even just for even just for aesthetic, too. Like, I would fill the fucking thing with, like... Dude, I would be that person to put, like, you know the alcohol Vinique that has, like, the pearl dust in it? It gets all swishy and swirls around. Yes. I'd just do that and just, like, take shots.
Right. But then, taking, like, that bath or treating yourself, pampering, like you were saying, get that bath bomb and do all that. Like, glamour yourself.
And that's honestly, a lot of my glamour magic starts from, like, me getting in the right headspace to, like, get ready, too. So, like, there's actually a practice from ancient Greece called cosmesis that's mentioned in several different myths and stories. It's mentioned in the Iliad. Like, there's... so let me just go ahead and go into the definition. Cosmesis in Greek mythology represented the practice of dress and adornment in goddesses and queens. So there's mention of Hera using it when she wants to make a battle go a certain way. So she uses cosmesis and this glamour magic sway Zeus and other people into her style, you know, into what she wants to think, so she can sway the battle into going her way. And that's sort of the thing, is that the way you present yourself and the energy that you use when you are getting dressed in this form of cosmesis says so much, and it's really a weapon that you can have in your arsenal.
Oh, for sure.
To make shit go your way.
If you walk out and you feel like a bad bitch and you're trying to get some bad bitch shit done, then, you know, slay.
Yeah. Fucking slay, bitch.
But I think that's, like, the best, like, way to put it. And if you want to come off as, like... And we're not saying, oh, you need to, like, you know... But if you want to come off softer and more approachable, like, you could dress that way. You could put yourself in that mindset. And it's, like you said, it's not manipulation, but it's trying to guide.
This is the spell portion of things, so that you can set your intention and set your goals, just like you do at the new and full moons, and go out and set and do the thing. It's putting another weapon in your tool belt.
Yeah.
Your witchcraft.
That you probably already have, you're just not paying attention to.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have realized it and you're fucking owning it.
Yeah.
But there's a reason that certain pieces of clothing or jewelry or perfumes make you feel good and make you feel a certain way. And as witches, I think we're all very used to, like, wearing certain things to do certain, whether it's a crystal or whether it's, like, something from an ancestor, things like that. Like, there's ways to arm yourself and to build up that energy. And just in your daily practice, like, even if you haven't thought about it, like, oh, this makes me feel good about myself, you know? And so that, like you said, is having that other kind of thing in your arsenal to, like, go to when it's like, I want this to be done.
Yeah.
So
and there's lots of little tricks that you can use, like, when you're applying your makeup, too. Like, you can actually use makeup to, like, enchant and empower makeup for certain things. Like, if a red lip makes you feel really fucking powerful, wear a red lip when you need to have the confidence to speak well in front of others.
Right.
You know, if you are trying to see through all the bullshit, fucking channel some Egyptians and fucking enchant some kohl eyeliner and wing that shit out and go fucking slay somebody and see through their crap, you know?
Right.
Like, or even if you're like putting on moisturizer or you're cleansing your face or something like that, you know, put it on in the shape of a rune or a sigil or a star or something to enchant it. You know, like there are lots of ways that you can practice these things.
Yeah, and you could put it on a specific thing, or you could charge whatever you wanted, perfume, like the oils, whatever, like, or the crystals. Like there's so many just avenues to do it.
Yeah. There's even, I actually saw an ad for this the other day because it's Valentine's Day and I will follow a lot of witchy accounts. There's actually somebody made like a love drawing soap that you can use. So you could make this yourself, or you could go buy it from someone else. I'm sure you could find them. But like, you know, even using that in an intention and washing with that, you know, is a great way to do it. So there's lots of different stuff you can do.
I mean, you could fucking take a bar of soap and carve what you wanted into it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many ways to go about it to kind of self-empower. And like I said, it doesn't have to be about loving somebody else. It doesn't have to be about getting somebody else's attention. Like sometimes you can put that shit inward. And I think that's a great idea to treat yourself.
Get yourself your Batman suit.
Yeah.
Do a little bit Wyatt and treat yourself, you know? Treat yourself to a good cry. Like, yeah.
Whatever you need.
Whatever you need.
So that's what we would implore you to do on Valentine's Day. If you feel like you need to do internal work and you need to build yourself back up, like there's so many simple, easy ways to do it. Make a poppet.
Oh, hell yeah.
Of yourself. Put your shit in it. And then
put a little bit of your hair, your fingernails, or, you know, whatever.
Put it on a little throne, a shrine.
Yeah.
Take care of it.
Dress it in colors that you like best or something, and really just, like, you know, show it love, show it compassion. Dress it with your favorite perfume, you know,
that's
that
a good
kind of
one.
thing.
In our first recording of this was, I know people think about poppets and that kind of work for outward, but you can do one for yourself. 100%.
My best love spells have been on myself, bitch. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've done some fucking successful love spells, but, like, the best ones are the ones where I've made me fall in love with me, you know? Because it's just, at the end of the day, you're the only you that you got.
Yeah.
And you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be a constant thing.
No.
I mean, you're going to have those days, but you're also teaching yourself that kind of energy that you feel. And I think it's a feedback loop. Like, the more you can appreciate yourself or do that, like, build that confidence and all that. The other glamour ideas are more easy because you feel like I'm in control of how I'm perceived, which sounds simple, but, like, really think about it.
Yeah.
Like, when you walk out, if you want to perceive, like, stay the fuck away from me, don't come near me, like, pay attention, because it will fucking work. People will not approach you. Trust me. And then there's other ones where if you're warm and you have that, like, welcoming spirit, how many people will, like, see you and smile or talk to you or things like that. It can be.
I mean, shit. When I was actually in the depot the other day, just walking around and stuff like that. I think I just posted the pictures from when I was in there, and I'm not wearing any makeup. Like, I'm not feeling all that cute. But all of a sudden, there's this dude over there, and I'm like, oh damn, he kind of cute. And, like, he came up and was, like, hanging around. Like, all of a sudden I start putting out that glamour magic, and he just started coming up, hanging around, and this and that and the other. And I think I might have come on a little bit too strong, because I caught him checking me out, and my friend caught him checking me out. My friend may have freaked him out when he's like, you know, she's not with me, right? You can ask for her number. I think that made him a little bit shy.
Maybe.
So, maybe. But yeah, it's just it's a way you hold yourself. And that's really, and you don't need any tools for that. It's really about learning how to channel that internally.
Right.
To be able to work that magic.
Right. And sometimes you might feel like you have to channel part of a deity or that energy, or like if you feel like you can't find it, it might be easier to picture channeling something that you are familiar with, a character or an actual person that you admire. So channel that and, like, get used to that feeling, and like, you can feed that for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's easier for me to say, I guess, because I'm used to channeling something.
True.
But I mean, it's just that feeling. Like, you know, those days you feel up, you feel good, and you feel, like, happy, and you're like, or those days where you feel like, oh, I want to be left alone. Like, you can make that. So I think this all falls under the umbrella of glamoring.
Yeah.
And like how you want to not manipulate, but like influence how things you want to go.
Yeah. Because to be fair, I'm not against manipulation.
Me either.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, bitch. But, I don't really see this as manipulation. I see it as an influence. I think that's the right word.
And there's many different ways. I think that's what we're trying to say too, is it's not just this idea of trying to make somebody fall in love with you against free will. It's not trying to manipulate. You can do all that shit, but
it's not about, being Audrey Hepburn or who's the big it supermodel right now? I don't even know. Are the Hadid still a thing?
Who?
I don't know.
Is it a Kardashian?
Whatever.
Just kidding. Don't channel them. God.
I'm not a fan.
Channel somebody. Channel something.
Yeah, channel whatever it is that you look up to. I think in the last episode we talked about, like, one of the biggest, like, moments of glamour magic for me is, like, when you go see a live production of Rocky Horror.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Talk about that motherfucker. That's the biggest...
Like, one of the best representations of really good glamour magic is when you have somebody who can come out and play a good Dr. Frankenfurter. Because you have that moment where Frankenfurter rips off that, coat or whatever and reveals what's underneath. And when it's done wrong, it just doesn't feel right. But when that person has enthralled everybody in the room and has all of their attention and you're hanging on their every word, and Tissa, patience.
See, you fucking did it.
Like, it's wonderful. And that's one of the best examples of glamour magic.
That's what, I think that's a good way to summarize all that we've said.
Yeah.
Be Dr. Frankenfurter.
Be Dr. Frankenfurter. I'd love to be Dr. Frankenfurter, man.
Yeah, or Tim Curry, whichever. But
oh my god,
I mean, just fucking like it's like the perfect idea of like that enthralling, like just everybody's under that spell.
Yes.
So that should be your goal.
Yes.
You can do the fishnets and corset.
Oh fuck yeah!
Please do that.
Absolutely.
But you don't have to. But it helps.
And it's like whatever it is that makes you feel powerful. One of the people that I really love and research, because she's also a fellow follower of Lilith, and is really great on love magic and glamour magic, is Gabriella Herstick, who is phenomenal. But, for her, it's about, almost like it almost feels like Fran Drescher sort of fashion, you know what I mean? With lots of leopard print and bright colors, lots of red, almost getting into like bondage and kink fashion at times. For her, that's what makes her feel powerful, and it's beautiful.
Right.
But for me, it's less about that, and it's more about, I want to feel like Stevie Nicks, so I've got, fringe and, shawls and, flowing things, or, some days it's about, ripped skinny jeans and fucking winged eyeliner out to my fucking earlobes and leather jackets. So do what makes you feel the most like you and channel you, which another great book on glamour magic called literally just Glamour Magic, and it's by Deborah Castellano. I'm going to put a link in the notes for this to the book because I read it and I think it's she really talks about using glamour magic to accomplish your, not just like to get a date or to score, to perform really well at work or anything like that, but whatever it is that's your like true goal and like what your true magic is, and how to use that glamour magic to sort of work into that. So for me, it would definitely be about the podcast, and how do I use glamour magic to sort of influence and push that. So whatever it is that's your great work, so that's really fabulous. Valentine is another great one who writes some great things about glamour magic. I've put a link for her as well. And then I think I saw recently something we didn't touch on, which I don't know if we want to touch on it now or not. Like, did we want to talk about the honey jars and stuff like that too?
Because the honey jar we've covered, it's like, taking something from that person or writing their name down. It's as simple as putting it in a jar, covering it in honey, sugar, molasses, anything sweet. Mm-hmm. That
you
idea.
You can use flowers and things too if you wanted to.
Like honeysuckle, like we talked about. So you can put that on your altar, put it near your bed, and just shake it. And it's like the idea is to sweeten that person to you. It doesn't even have to be affectionate. It can be a family member maybe you're quarreling with, or a boss or a coworker. Mm-hmm. You can do the same thing.
Your landlord.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like a good idea. And then, you shake it and it gives it a little charge or something. Mm-hmm. And you can leave it there indefinitely.
Yeah.
Because I've done that with bosses and things.
Again, if we're talking about self-love and stuff like that, you could do it to yourself, too.
Yeah, pour honey all over yourself.
Yeah! Fucking do it, man.
Everything is so sticky.
You might want to take a shower after, put some plastic down on the sheets.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, put down a tarp.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just get wet and sticky with it.
Yeah.
Feel like the table at a Waffle House.
Or when I used to work at Great Wolf Lodge. But yeah, or, buy yourself a special perfume or something and, enchant it. Use it to anoint like a puppet of yourself, or even to anoint a candle, depending on how expensive the perfume is. That's up to you.
Right.
Draw sigils on the outside of the perfume bottle.
You could even add, you could write down intent if you could open the perfume bottle. Some don't open. And I wouldn't put anything that's going to alter the scent.
Yeah.
But a piece of
rose
paper,
quartz or garnet or something in there.
Yeah,
those should both be safe.
Yeah, I think even a tiniest little paper with intent could be dropped in there. Yeah. It wouldn't affect the scent. And then you've imbued that with, or charged it with that intent. Yeah. It's just like doing it with fucking water or gin, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. You could also program a mirror as well.
Program a mirror?
Yeah. So this is one that I had written down too. So you could do it your bedroom, your bathroom, the mirror that's hanging up by your door just for, last looks before you walk out the door. You could even do it to your car mirrors as well.
Oh. Because those objects are closer than they appear.
They are. So just go ahead and do whatever kind of energetic cleansing you want to do. Again, I would advise against ill-collected white sage. But you could do, smoke cleansing, you could do waters, you could do whatever it is that you want to do, even if it's just energetic visualization. If it's possible, you can decorate with flowers, crystals, runes, sigils, whatever. I actually, for a long time, I had a dry erase marker, and I would actually write, intention sigils and stuff like that on the mirror. So, with the dry erase marker, because then it can be, erased and it's not a big deal. Whatever you want to do. So if you want to, feel like a bad bitch every time you walk out the door, write a sigil, write a rune, something that helps you channel that, whatever that correspondence is for you, and sort of channel that intention into the mirror. And, you could even wear, some lipstick or something and seal it with a kiss on the mirror. And that could be your sigil.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah. So that's a really great thing to change, how you're perceiving yourself, and sort of help change some of those perspectives and things like that. You can write, I actually had a whole, mantra that was written on my mirror there for a while. So, whatever it is that helps you.
I like that idea.
Yeah. And, of course, dry erase markers come in just about every color you can think of now. Oh, so you can use some color magic on that, too.
Yeah, make it real pretty.
Mm-hmm. Do whatever you want, bitch. But yeah, there's so many creative ways to be able to do this. And I've got several different rituals and stuff in the notes, too. So if you guys are Patreon members, you can definitely look at some of the things that I was looking at, too. I think I want to round this out by kind of talking about, your body is an altar. Your body is an extension of yourself, of your craft. And I think when we think intentionally about the way that we are treating it, the way we are dressing it, the way that we are channeling that energy out of ourselves to be able to create the things that we want or banish the things that we don't want, that's a whole different kind of magic that I think should not be ignored. And I think there's a lot of, I think it's sort of what's the word? Dismissed.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's not being true magic. And I mean, the way it's perceived, especially you watch movies and stuff like The Craft.
Yeah.
And they talk about, changing the eye color as a glamour, and it's I don't know, man. That's not really something you can do no matter what the internet says, because I've
Right.
seen several.
Oh my God,
research,
I have too.
Doing research, I've seen lots of people who claim that you can this and that and the other, and it's like,
And we're not even saying like you need to change anything. Like it's just that perception and the intent and how you feel.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like a bad bitch wearing like all black and the leather jacket and boots, like then it's not going to work for you.
Yeah, and it's not fake magic. You're not creating something that isn't there.
Right.
You're amplifying what is there so that it's more noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And influencing it.
Mm-hmm.
But usually, like I said, it's going to flow if it's there.
Yeah. So I think it's dress your altar however the fuck you want, but be mindful about how you're dressing your altar and how that affects the energy that you're putting out.
Right.
So I think that kind of rounds it out.
Yeah, well, okay, there are extensive notes. And then you can...
5 pages worth.
Right, and you'll get those on Patreon.
Yeah.
Like we did with the Demon Dog episode. So if you guys are liking this, let us know. Because you can message us on Patreon. We check those.
Absolutely.
And let us know, like, if you like that addition to the benefits. Because, like, some stuff we don't cover, or you want to go back, and you can always listen to us again. Mm-hmm. But if you want to go back and look for it, like, this is a good way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
And so, we have an Instagram.
Yes.
You can follow us there.
At Cursecast.
Yes. And then you can email us at cursecast@gmail.com. Because we want stories. If you have spells that you like to do, glamour magic, love magic, like, let us know, give us ideas, something that you liked or something that you've tried or know about, like, because we like hearing from you guys. And then what was the other thing that we had to plug? I mean, Patreon we kind of already talked about, but I mean, go to our Patreon if you want these notes. If you want bonus, if you want to hear about genital cookies, and
if you want a personalized tarot reading every month.
Yeah.
Fucking badass.
So you can go there, you can get shout outs, you can do all that fun stuff. But yeah, I think this is a good way to do your Valentine's Day. Give you some good ideas, some tips.
Hell yeah.
Well, until next time, with probably a cryptid.
Ooh.
A love cryptid. A sexy cryptid.
Oh fuck yeah. Talk about succubus.
Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Saint Valentine's Day, Massacre Day, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to do. The day after is half off chocolate day.
Oh, best holiday.
Dark chocolate, please.
Treat yourself to all the dark chocolate.
Don't send any one of us milk chocolate.
No, especially not Cadbury.
Not Cadbury. But all 3 of us will eat dark chocolate.
Oh, fuck yeah. And I really want to try ruby chocolate.
Ruby chocolate, yes. Send us that.
Yeah. All right.
We'll await our flowers and stuffed bears. Oh, you could do a stuffed animal. Teddy bear as a puppet.
You totally could.
But it's another episode. No. Okay.
We'll do an episode on poppets.
Oh, fuck. Yes. That would be so much fun.
That would be really fun.
And we'll make puppets of ourselves, right? No.
I mean, maybe.
Okay. We'll see. Thought.
It's a thought.
Yeah. So, I was going to say some stupid shit like, oh, so if you really want to go fuck yourself, then you'll have a poppet to do that with.
I mean, all the gem shows and stuff where I've been to where they have the giant, like, rose quartz phalluses and stuff like that. Like, self-love on steroids, man.
Yeah, you can get yourself a little crystal massage wand.
Yeah, it's a crystal dildo.
Yeah. Or you could make your poppet into a finger puppet. Or like the hand puppets, like, just get up in there.
I mean...
Love yourself.
If you're going to use it multiple times, though, sterilize it. That's all I got to say.
Don't sterilize it?
Sterilize it.
Oh, yeah. Cleanse it, like... cleanse it in the moonlight, but also with, like, Lysol.
Put it in the dishwasher with the rest of your toys.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, my God.
Cursed is a bi-weekly podcast produced by Bones McWilliams and Cricket Word. Editing by Bones McWilliams. The theme for Cursed is Voice of the Trees by Sun and Moon Dance. Check them out on Spotify, YouTube, or at sunandmoondance.bandcamp.com. Follow Cursed on Instagram, Twitter, and become a patron at patreon.com/cursecast.
I need a labradorite one.
That would not be good. Labradorite and water do not mix. No. Don't do it.
Well, just don't wash it.
No.
Cleanse it with smoke.
No.
I'm kidding.
No.
Okay, well, this will go after the episode.